This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
We need to be better. We need to be the very personification that is love, and we need to move forward, and we need to grow.
Another day of demonstrations in downtown Indianapolis, peaceful calls for an end to police brutality, and a moment to honor George Floyd. Today, protesters had a chance to speak with Police Chief Randall Taylor and other city leaders. We are now 1 hour away from another 8 p.m. curfew across Marion County. Good evening to you here at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett admits a curfew is a drastic step, but said this afternoon that he hopes it will prevent some of the extreme action that took place on Saturday night compared to Sunday night.
Last evening, peace returned to our streets, and that frankly would not be possible without residents who make sacrifices to stay at home for the safety of a grateful city.
And we are checking in now with RTV6's Cameron Riddle in downtown Indianapolis. Groups have been demonstrating throughout the evening. Now there's less than an hour until streets should be clear. Cameron, what are you seeing out there?
All right, so Amanda, you know I've been on top of this story. We were the first crew to do so on Friday night, and I can tell you tonight we are playing by a different script. For the first time, we have left the heart of the city. Right now, we are approaching 16th and Meridian. We're just north of our ABC studios at 13th and Meridian. This is the first time this group has moved up this far, and it's not exactly clear where we're going. Jake, step to your left so that bus can get through there. Indigo bus coming this way. All of these people who are right here have been walking from the circle and through downtown, but as you can see, have been letting traffic come on through. This is night 4 that we have been doing this since Friday night. Of course, the governor had a big issue with the way the downtown looks here in our state's largest city after a weekend of destruction following hours of peaceful protest. Downtown tonight looks like we are getting ready for a hurricane in South Florida, but we're actually getting ready for curfew, which is now less than an hour away. Governor Holcomb expressed his support and applauded the peaceful protesters that brought thousands of people to downtown Indianapolis following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. But the governor made it clear the violence that showed up in dozens of cities across Indiana has crossed the line.
No citizen has a right to destroy, vandalize, or threaten another Hoosier safety or property.
The governor has also spent part of his afternoon speaking with the president and attorney general, who has urged governors across the country to get a handle on the violence that we have seen on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. As I said, we are on curfew. The governor has got the Indiana National Guard on standby to protect state properties and also standing by to assist IMPD in the event that they need it. Where we're going right now, it is unclear, but I am now confident in telling you they're not going to be inside or anywhere back where their cars are probably parked in downtown Indianapolis as we continue to walk north on Illinois Street and cross 16th Street right now. Some of the rumor is we're headed to the governor's mansion, which, as many of you know, is on the far north side of Indianapolis. We're headed that direction. Where exactly we're going, we don't know. But if curfew is at 8 o'clock, there's still going to be a lot of people violating that as the city and the entire county locks down at 8 o'clock. Reporting live tonight, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And that clock is ticking, Cameron. Thank you. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears says he will not file charges against 41 nonviolent protesters arrested in downtown Indianapolis this past Friday and Saturday. Mears announced today that each arrest was reviewed on a case-by-case basis. 14 suspects allegedly involved in looting from downtown businesses are now facing burglary charges. Mears is also advising those who have allegations of improper conduct by city police officers to contact the Citizens Police Complaint Office.
Checking in now, Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory tracking some rising temperatures in the forecast.
Today was another comfortable day, but that will be changing, Amanda, as you alluded to. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow. Did you get a shower this evening? There have been a few light showers, but they're moving quickly from northwest to southeast, and that will lead to some gradual clearing this evening. Temperatures will stay warmer as we go through the overnight. Let me show you the radar, and you'll see the showers that are cutting through really southeastern Indiana now toward Greensburg. There's the cloud cover and temperatures in the 70s for Indianapolis, 76 in Bloomington, 73 in Indy. The rain, as I mentioned, got streets wet and zipped on past Indianapolis, now down in Decatur County along Interstate 74. Those are sliding quickly between Batesville and Versailles. What's ahead for the evening hours? Skies will stay cloudy. Temperatures no cooler than about 65 by 11 o'clock tonight.
Well, following several days of protests in Indianapolis and across the country, we have heard from several community leaders who tell us they stem from decades of frustration. RTV6's Nicole Griffin spent some time with some of those leaders, speaking with them, and they say that people are simply at a point where they're exploding.
And so this is not just about the broken glass that you see downtown. This is about people whose spirits have been broken,
who have been feeling that there has been a knee on their throat forever.
A group of community leaders, part of the African American Coalition of Indianapolis, and legislators they work with closely took time Saturday to discuss the bigger issues leading to protests like this one in Indianapolis.
because we have a younger generations that know nothing but struggle, challenges, and poverty, and they get to see the inequities firsthand. None of us has ever seen a white person choked out or killed by the police on video. We've never seen that.
Underneath the anger and frustration, leaders say there are economic issues that are very real.
People don't have access to good jobs. They're living in unstable, substandard housing, don't have access to the necessities. And so people are looking for more than just meetings and discussions now. They're looking for very real, substantive actions, policies, things that are designed to help everyone. And I think the city has to understand is that this is not just a Black issue.
The African American Coalition of Indianapolis has taken initiative to prioritize their own agenda. There are 5 key issues.
We have police reform and community violence. We're working on affordable housing, education reform, particularly the racial achievement gap, food insecurity, and then Black business development.
They are working closely with legislators, but say this isn't just something politicians or government officials can fix.
What I would like to see is everyone just take a look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to suppress African Americans, people of color, whether if it's in my job, whether if it's in my community, and how can I take a personal accountability, a spiritual accountability to help and assist to make our community better.
Until the larger community feels it has a dog in the fight and speaks out for greater equity in healthcare, more employment and training, supporting the training that is going on with police, it will remain the same.
The coalition says they have made some progress with the use of force boards supported by the IMPD police chief and Indianapolis mayor, making sure citizens are represented, but there is still a lot of work ahead.
We're at a turning point for the city right now. We got to make some tough decisions and some very real commitments. What are we going to do?
Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, the leaders that you just heard from say it is encouraging to see a diverse group of protesters on the streets of Indianapolis and not just Black protesters.
And we are keeping track of the impact the coronavirus is having on Hoosiers and Indiana's healthcare system. As of today, the State Department of Health reports 1,976 deaths from COVID-19. Since the pandemic began, 13% of Hoosiers tested have been COVID positive. According to the Regent Street Institute, 17% of Indiana's coronavirus patients have been hospitalized and 65% have recovered.
Still ahead on the news at 7, a warning about scammers who are trying to rip off people who have that tough task of moving in the middle of a pandemic. What you need to know.
Nothing else has reinforced my, love for what I do. Healthcare has really come into the forefront of everything.
And in hiring Hoosiers, they are not on the front lines of the pandemic, but surgical techs are in high demand and working hard to keep patients safe and healthy.
Make a donation or volunteer today.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Well, it has been difficult to do a lot of normal activities during the pandemic, and one of those is moving into a new house or an apartment. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau of Central Indiana explains how criminals are targeting some people who are just trying to make a move.
Well, with the whole COVID-19 situation, we are seeing that people are having to move, and the scammers are taking advantage of that. And here's how the moving scam works. There's a couple of variations on this. The first one is you contact a moving company and you get a quote from them. They have you pay something up front as a deposit, and then the moving van or the moving company never shows up, so you've just lost your money. Then the second one is the company will come and they will give you a price based on the weight or average weight or an estimated weight of what it is that they have to move. They'll load everything up and they'll say, oh, gee, there's a lot more here than we thought. It weighs a lot more. And they really up the price. In fact, sometimes they can even double the price on you. So that's another one. And then the third one is, and this one is really something you want to avoid. They'll come, they'll load up, they'll take all of your belongings away, but then the moving van doesn't show up to your new location. And you'll get a call from them basically saying, hey, if you want all of your goods, you'll have to pay us another fee, or essentially they're holding all of your furniture and all of your possessions as ransom. So you really want to check out moving companies before you hire anybody. BBB.org is a great place to go and check out moving companies, but make certain that you do your research before this, because you don't want to get scammed by these people. You don't want to lose all your possessions, or you don't want to get ripped off. So we're just seeing a lot of this because, number one, summer is the time when a lot of people move, and now with the COVID-19 event, we're even seeing more people that are moving, and the scammers know this, and they're taking advantage of it. So do your research before you pick a mover.
And we have more money-saving tips and more on how you can protect yourself from scammers at our website, theindychannel.com/money.
After a cool weekend, temperatures are going to be warm this week. We'll add a little humidity as well, and we'll talk about what happens beyond the 7-day forecast coming up.
Indiana hospitals have resumed elective surgeries that were canceled when the coronavirus pandemic began. And IU Health is looking to hire Hoosiers who can play key roles in keeping patients safe and comfortable. I found out why the demand for certified surgical techs has not changed despite an unprecedented few months for the healthcare industry.
Back in January, I visited the OR at Methodist Hospital to meet David Wiseman, a certified surgical technician at IU Health. It's a career path he began less than a decade ago.
Previous to this, I was actually in retail for over a decade. I managed a small business, a couple of retail shops.
Now this 42-year-old father is the ENT team lead at the hospital and is also teaching future surgical techs at his alma mater, Ivy Tech.
I wanted to do something more meaningful with what I did every day and something that my children could be proud of.
4 days a week, you can find David scrubbed in next to a surgeon, assisting every step of the operation.
On a daily basis, a CST is responsible for preparing for surgeries and knowing what they're going to be doing that day ahead of time. And then we have instrumentation that we're responsible for obtaining and supplies. It requires a lot of critical thinking skills to be able to anticipate those needs for each individual patient.
Unlike most jobs, CSTs are only recruited once a year, and there are a limited number of programs in the state that provide surgical tech degrees. At the moment, the demand for surgical technologists is outpacing the supply, and the demand continues despite changes due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The surgical techs are just such an integral part in the operations of the OR, and we need them.
This week, I checked back in with IU Health's Director of Clinical Operations to see what has changed since January.
Now that we're kind of getting back into running parallel business with having COVID patients as well as trying to take care of the folks out there that still need surgeries. We are looking at bringing those learners back to the environment so we can get the proper training that they need.
For David, working through the pandemic has not changed his mindset about his career choice.
If nothing else, it's reinforced my love for what I do. Healthcare has really come into the forefront of everything everybody's, aware of now because of this. And, just hearing people talk about it all the time and knowing that every day I'm going to work and I'm driving to work and nobody else is on the road and I'm going to work to help take care of people. I mean, it just makes me feel that much better about what I do.
And IU Health currently has more than 50 job openings for surgical technicians across their system. The starting salary is $19.50 an hour. Ivy Tech offers a 2-year associate's degree program, and CSTs must commit to continuing education as surgery techniques are constantly changing. Starting salary for CSTs at IU Health is $19.50 an hour, and you can learn more right now at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
Amanda, it was all sunshine here to start our day, the first day of June. Clouds have increased since, and maybe you had a shower at your house. This evening, the showers are moving away. With chance for rain, it comes back as we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those are the 3 best chance for thunderstorms. We're dry tomorrow. We're also much, much warmer, as you'll see in just a second. Temperatures underneath the cloud cover today, we're in the 70s, 87 tomorrow. That will come with a stronger south wind that will catapult the temperature into the upper 80s where it stays. We just add a little more humidity Wednesday and also the chance for thunderstorms. Those thunderstorm chances are late in the day, really into Wednesday night. Thursday, 85 with a 40% chance for thunderstorms. Lots of gray. That's the cloud cover for now. I think we'll see that clear as well. The rain is going to clear the southeast portion of the state, leaving Decatur County and Greensburg to the south and east in the next little bit. 71 in Richmond, 75 in Terre Haute. From north to south, about a 7-degree temperature range between Peru and Bedford. The wind will be out of the south tonight, and with the cloud cover around, we won't be as cool. 63 in the morning. By the time we get to late morning, 77. We should see lots of sunshine tomorrow. As I mentioned, a stronger wind. That brings in the warmer temperatures, which are lurking south of the Ohio River and west of the Mississippi, just waiting for an invitation to visit the Hoosier State, and they'll get that invitation. We'll see if you decide if it overstays the welcome, because beyond the 7-day forecast, all indications are we could have some of the warmest temperatures we've had so far this year next week. Winds tomorrow, 20 to nearly 30 miles per hour. Those are the stronger gusts out of the southwest through the afternoon hours. Temperatures upper 80s, generally speaking, with that sunshine. The humidity not too bad. Wednesday's headline, with the thunderstorm chances increasing late in the day and Wednesday night, a few may be severe with damaging wind and large hail, the main threats, along with some heavy rainfall. Temperature should still manage to climb to the upper 80s for the afternoon high. It will be a little cooler to the north, where I think the rain arrives first for those of you Monticello, Logansport, Peru, Marion, for example. 7 o'clock Wednesday night, there's some rain along Interstate 70. You see it start to fill in by 11, and then we'll continue as we go to the south and east through the remainder of the evening. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures over the next 7 days consistently in the 80s. The best chance of rain Wednesday through Friday. Over the weekend, rain chances much, much lower. That's the 7-day forecast.
Just search RTV6.
And we are taking a live look as demonstrators move north out of downtown Indianapolis with a little more than half an hour until Marion County's curfew. This is around Illinois and 23rd. We're going to keep track of what is happening on the streets tonight. You can find the latest at theindychannel.com and the RTV6 app, and of course, tonight on the news at 11.
Through the shattered glass and boarded buildings in downtown Indy, we are searching for stories of hope. And so you may remember Bonzi Balloons, the local small balloon business we featured on RTV6. Well, over the weekend, the owners took these letters of love to the streets of Indy in the aftermath of the protests and riots. One of the owners posted on Facebook saying this is going to take a lot of healing and a lot of time. He also says he made a commitment to serve the community when he enlisted in the Army. And right now, this is the only way he knows of how, saying that we have to start calling out the wrong. This is indeed something we are all in together.
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11.